Hello dear students, welcome to the online education of class 7 science of NIRS. So welcome back to the continued part of the lesson which we had started in the previous classes. So dear students, we have been discussing about the lesson soil. Okay, so in the previous class I had discussed with you about absorption of water by soil. Okay, by conducting an activity, interesting activity we have conducted by using a beaker, funnel, filter paper and a sample of soil and a dropper, and we have found a formula to find out the percolation rate of water. So what kind of soil will have more percolation rate and what kind of soil will have a lowest percolation rate, so that we can distinguish by conducting this activity of by collecting the different samples of soil. So dear students, let's go for the last concept of this lesson, that is soil and crops. So as we all know about the different kinds of soil in the beginning of the lesson, so different types of soil are found in the different parts of India. Okay, so in all part of our India we cannot find the same kind of soil. So hence in some part of our India there is a clay soil, and in some parts there is a loamy soil also. So whereas in some other plant parts of India there is sandy soil. So there is uneven distribution of types of soil throughout the country. So soil is affected from measure by wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity. Okay, so these parameters may affect the soil, the combination of the soil. So which are those? Once again let me repeat you: the wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity may affect the type of soil. Okay, so these are some of the climatic factors which affect the soil profile and bring changes in the soil structure. See, so as we discussed in the previous class, soil profile, so this soil profile is going to be affected by these climatic factors, which are those: wind, rainfall, temperature, humidity and light. So these factors affect the soil profile and bring a lot of changes in the soil structure. So the climatic factors as well as the components of the soil, the climatic factors, as I told you in the previous class, just I repeated. So those climatic factors as well as the components of the soil, so the chemical combination or components of the soil, so they decide the various types of vegetation and crops that might grow in any region. See, these climatic factors and the combination of the soil or components of the soil, they determine so what type of vegetation can be grown in such, or vegetation as well as crops that might grow well in these regions. So let's go through that. Clay soil and loamy soils are both suitable for growing cereals like wheat and gram. See, so in order to grow the cereals like wheat and gram, different kinds of gram, so what kind of soil is suitable means that is clay soil as well as loamy soil. These are very much their common climatic factors of these soils, and their combination components of this soil is very much suitable for growing the cereals like wheat and gram. So such soils are very good at retaining water. Why? Because these kinds of soil can retain more amount of water, means hold more amount of water. So for paddy, so to grow, in order to grow the paddy, so soil which is rich in clay as well as organic matter and having a good capacity of retaining water are ideal. Means in order to grow the paddy crop you must have the clay soil, along with that organic matter that can hold the more amount of water, that can have the ability, good capacity of holding the water, retaining the water are good. Okay, so for lentils means dals, masoor dal, so such lentils and other pulses, in order to grow the lentils and pulses, loamy soils which drain the water easily are suitable. Loamy soil means drain the water, means water can easily pass through that. So that is very much necessary, important, which is required. Okay, so in order to grow the cotton, for cotton, growing the cotton plant, so sandy soil or loam, sandy loam or only loam which drains the water easily is much suitable. Okay, that can hold plenty of water and more suitable. Okay, so crops such as wheat are grown in a fine clay soil. Okay, so crops like wheat are grown in a fine clay soil because they are rich in humus and they are very fertile one. In order to get the good wheat crops, you must need to grow these kind of crops like wheat in a fine powdered clay soil, so which is having the rich humus as well as good fertility, very fertile. So you can also collect the in such kind of information from teachers, friends, neighbors, farmers. So what type of soil and crops are grown in our particular area, so you can collect the data from the nearby your farmers, teachers, friends. So which kind of soil would be the most suitable for planting the rice? So soil with a higher or lower percolation rate, so that also you can make a list here. So you'll make a table here, 9.2. Look at it here, type of soil you write, make a list, and what kind of crops grown. For example, clay soil is much suitable for growing the wheat. So for sandy soil, what are the much suitable crops which can be grown? So like that you make a list of the some of the things. Okay, so now soil erosion, the last concept of this lesson. You all know it before in the previous class you studied. Still, let us have a look at it. See, the removal of land surface means the removal of the outer, just top surface of the land. Okay, the removal of the land surface by movement of the water or the wind, heavy wind, or through the ice is known as what? Soil erosion. So plants roots hold the firmly and bind the soil. Okay, roots of the plants, they are binded firmly in the soil. So in the absence of the soil plants, what happens here? The soil becomes loose, so it can be easily moved by the help of heavy blowing wind and also flowing water. If there is no plants in such area, the soil particles become very loose, and hence they can be easily moved along with the blowing wind as well as flowing water. So erosion of the soil is more severe in some of the areas of little or no surface vegetation. If there is no vegetation at all or very little vegetation is there, in such place soil erosion takes place very easily. So such as desert or bare lands. So in the best deserts you can see there is no vegetation at all. No, hence the soil erosion is much common over there, even in the bare lands. Okay, dry lands. So cutting of trees and deforestation are the main reasons which can cause the soil erosion. If you cut down the trees, and deforestation if you are farming, if you are doing so, hence definitely the soil erosion takes place. So that's why, so cutting of trees and deforestation should be prevented strictly, and efforts should be made in order to increase the green areas. So this is how you can protect the soil erosion and make the afforestation and make the our surroundings clean and green. So dear students, with this concept let me end up this lesson. So let's go for the exercise part tomorrow. I hope you all have understood this lesson and enjoyed this lesson. Soil, its types, and their different activities on it, and what are the its properties, and finally the what kind of crops grown in this different kinds of soil. Thank you and have a nice day. Let me continue the new lesson. Let me continue the exercise part in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.